Hello again and welcome back. Happy July 18th, 2012. My name is Terri Wood. I am a plant-based food specialist. I'm a gourmet raw chef. I am a wellness lifestyle coach. I'm also a speaker. Today I'm here with you to share little bits of things that can make your life easier in the kitchen when it comes to preparing healthier foods. One of the things that kept me from eating healthy foods back in the day was it didn't taste good and it was no fun. Well, things have really changed and I'm here to show that to you. Usually I'm in a classroom experience or I'm working one-on-one with somebody, and that's a lot of fun because you can not only see but you can taste the goodness of the foods as they're prepared. And I gotta tell you, they are fantastic. But in any case, if you would like to do that at any point in time where you'd like to have me live where you can actually see and taste what I'm doing and spend some time with me, I do work one-on-one and I work in groups. So check out my website and you'll find more information about that on there and my contact information as well. But for today, I'm going to share a little bit about why I do raw and how to prepare a raw dish that will be amazingly similar to what you expect from the same cooked dish, but with all the live enzymes. So why do I do raw? Why eat more raw? Well, first of all, it makes sense. The food comes straight from the ground, and it's as simple as that for me, but it's really nice to have science come along and back up that what I'm doing is actually correct. And so I'm going to share with you a little bit about that. There's a science that's been known since 1923. It's called bio-photons. Bio-photons, actually, just to give you a little bit of background, the Russian scientists actually developed or understood that back in 1923, but Russian or German scientist and biophysicist Fritz Albert Popp back in 1974 really took the understanding to a whole new level. And back in 1939, prior to that, there was a new photography that was developed called Kirlian Photography that actually captures the science that they've proven. What biophotons are little tiny emissions of light that come from every single living cell, whether you're a human cell or it's an animal cell or it's a plant cell. Everything that has cells in it has tiny little bits of light emitting from it. It's not captured by the human eye. It requires a special, like I said, photography and equipment to be able to see that. But the Kirlian photography has captured that, and you can go online and look that up and look at the images, and it's amazing. You'll see plants and the human hand, the human body, to where you can see this light emitting from around whatever you're looking at. Kirlian photography is spelled Kirlian, and again the science is biophotons. Look that up as well. Again, do your own research. Understand this. Don't just take my word for it, because the more you understand, my philosophy, I guess you will, is knowledge is power, but more knowledge is more power. And we can get that a lot better when we actually look into it. So look that up on Google. Well, this light that's emitting from these plants and from our cells is actually life that is coming from basically the source of the sun. And that whole thing, I don't really want to get into the details. Number one, I'm not a scientist and I probably couldn't explain it anyway. But if there's no light in something, there's no life in it. That's just as simple as that. So what you'll notice in some of these pictures is that when they've taken a food and that's straight from the ground, and they've taken that same food and lightly steamed it or cooked it, you'll see that the light either goes way down, diminishes way down, or it completely disappears, therefore creating a non-scientific term, dead food. So live food has live energy in it, or light, and dead food has no light in it. Now, do I eat cooked food, and am I condemning cooked food? Not at all. I do eat cooked food. I just balance it because we need that balance. Obviously, disease has gotten really out of control in this country, and there's reasons for that. If we go back to the way our diet was created for the human body, then we can expect to get freedom from our diseases. So that's the reason why I'm here. And I want to show you how to take a live food and keep it live, but give it the same feel in your mouth as a cooked version of it is. And that's broccoli. What I've got here is I've taken broccoli. I took the crowns of broccoli. I bought the crowns. Or if you don't buy the crowns, just go ahead and take the big part off. And I put those crowns upside down in a bowl of water with a good amount of salt. Just a regular cheap salt is fine. What you're doing with that is you're soaking that for a couple of hours. I soak it overnight. It doesn't affect it by letting it go longer. But what it's doing is that salt is drawing out bugs, and the water, of course, is soaking out the salt the sand and the dirt. Yes, there's bugs in the broccoli. These things are so tightly knit that if you notice when you rinse it, the water runs right off. Well, of course. So that's the reason for putting that in that salt for at least a couple of hours. And then you'll notice a whole lot more debris in that water than you'll ever get from just rinsing it. So let's get started. Now what I've done after soaking that is I rinsed it off, and then I cut the pieces of broccoli into smaller pieces. One of the keys to eating foods raw like this is smaller bite-sized pieces. Even my salads, I take a pair of scissors and I cut the leaves. You can do it with a knife or you can tear it, whatever. But I make those into very small pieces. It makes the eating of it a lot more pleasurable. So I've taken this and broken it up, and now what we're going to do is we're going to break down the cellular structure of this and soften this food without actually steaming it. And the way we do that is with salt, number one. And I'm going to say that the salt, this is an important aspect of your food and eating healthy, is using a good salt. Salts that have all their original minerals in them won't be stark white. They won't be, including your sea salts that are on the shelf marked sea salt. If it's white and it has no color in it, it's the first indicator that there's no mineral content in it. I trust Celtic sea salt. I also trust real salt, and I also trust Himalayan salt. And I'm sure there's some others out there. Do some checking. But this has been proven by people to really actually lower their blood pressure by just switching to this. It's not a chemical. It's not a processed or manufactured type replacement for salt. It's real salt, and it's got the nutrients. This also doesn't have any decaking agents in it. Now that doesn't mean that it cakes up real hard. It just doesn't free flow. They put free flowing agents in the salt. That wasn't meant to be in our diet. So I use the Celtic sea salt, and I recommend it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of salt. You can do this to your own specifications. Then I'm going to put a little bit of light olive oil, just a little bit. And then I'm going to, you can take a lemon and do this. I have fallen in love with limes lately. I eat a lot of citrus foods, or at least throughout the week. Every day I have some citrus. It's really good for helping to cleanse the liver, which is one of our main filtering organs in our body. And we'll talk more about that in future videos. But I'm using limes these days. I love the limes, but you use whatever your taste prefers. And I'm just going to put a little bit of lime in there. And then I'm going to start to massage this. And I'm going to massage it vigorously if I want to eat this right away. If I don't, if I'm going to eat it in, say, a couple of hours or whatever, you can massage it a little bit and then just leave it. It'll serve the same purpose. What we're doing is we're breaking this down to a softer, more pliable texture, still with the crunch, still with the light and the life inside of it. It will feel, and it will feel basically like a cooked form of broccoli, but it will not be cooked. So That's it. That's all you need to do. Now, I previously did some broccoli. This has been sitting there for over an hour, close to an hour maybe, and it's really softened. It's the same texture, very close to the very lightly steamed broccoli. And of course, again, the longer you leave it, the softer it'll get. So now you can eat this just like it is. It's delicious. You can add your favorite sauce to it. But for today, for my lunch, and this is the reason why I shared this with you, because this was on my lunch menu, I put together a pad thai with some rice noodles, some rehydrated specialty mushrooms that I like to get at the health food store. They're delicious. I just rehydrated them. That's all I did. And I added that after the noodles were cooked, I added some snow peas to it, sliced up. I added some green onion to it. You can add whatever you like to it, and the only thing I was missing was the broccoli. So here we're going to add the broccoli, and we've got the cooked noodles with the fresh veggies inside, and then this fresh broccoli. There we've got, and then I've also added, since it's summer, I wanted to prepare my last piece of sweet corn that I had in the refrigerator. So this is my lunch, and it is delicious. So go ahead and try that trick next time you want to have some broccoli, and enjoy it. Bon appetit. And thank you so much for joining us. Again, check out my website. That will be on the beginning of the video and also in the little excerpt before you watch the video. And I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Have a good day.